What?
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Yeah, dude, it's the weekend hangover. Holy shit, it's the 25th episode of this crap.
Man, this is so crazy, dude. I'm still like kicking myself that we've been doing this long, and like, man, I can't believe it's been like time went like that. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So lots of racing to talk about over the weekend a little bit.
Yeah.
We have World Superbike and the Toprak show and
oh man, MotoGP.
We've got
Same
the
weekend.
MotoGP and the cut to commercial Talladega Nights style crash in the sprint race. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we got a lot of stuff to talk about, and we got a secret special guest, which is cool.
Yeah. So what did you get into this weekend?
What did I get into?
Yeah.
Whole lot of nothing.
Yeah.
Bicycles, and that's about it.
Yeah, I've been finishing up the chicken coop and trying to get the house ready. We move into the new house next weekend.
No kidding.
Yeah, so gonna be busy, and yeah. So next
you're
couple shows.
just moving on the other side of town, right?
Yeah, it's like 25 minutes away, but it's out in the cut.
Oh, you're out in South Carolina.
On the
you got your Starlink dialed in, ready to rock and roll?
No, I was looking at Starlink, and I'm actually got to go to rural. I think it's a rural broadband out of Walterboro. So, yeah, Palmetto rural, whatever. So that's what my neighbor said to get.
So you'll still be able to do the show then.
Yes, I can still do the show, and I'm gonna run a Cat 6 cable out to my shop that I'm building over the winter. So I will have a like legit shop, 25 by 30 building, and it's going to have all my motorcycle stuff in there and all my trophies and everything. And then I'm going to set up a podcast and action from that too. So
nice.
I'll have my bike in the back finally.
And when's the next time that you get to ride, dude?
Well, yeah, we'll see. I may get to ride on the 8th. I got a little test ride.
November 8th.
Yeah, November 8th down at Roebling. It's a private track day that I got invited to test ride for possibly teaching some race school stuff. So, yeah.
Is that old boy there? The white wheels and pineapples and stuff?
No, not with Nate Kern. No, it's with another group. So,
okay.
We will see. Got something cooking over the winter. So
we've got a TrackDaz event on the second, third weekend.
Yeah,
and it's at Buttonwillow. We're gonna run configuration number 1 for the track, but we're gonna go counterclockwise on Saturday, and then on Sunday we're gonna run the standard. Everybody knows it's AFM config, so it's config 13 clockwise. So it's like, come on out, wear out both sides of your tires.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And I heard you're going to be the first track day going to be at the second Buttonwillow track, so that's pretty rad.
Yes, in February we have a weekend already on the books for that, and nice. Like new tracks are always exciting. Can't wait to check that thing out on something besides the pedal powered bicycle.
Oh yeah, because you've been.
Yeah, I've got a lot of laps around the place in my truck, in the bicycle, but none on an actual motorbike. So, yeah, it'll be cool. But yeah, so talk about racing, huh? So,
hey, who's this guy?
Oh, he's still on mute though. Okay. Yeah. So you're Rebay. Holy shit.
Welcome my coaching partner from last Monday.
Yeah, wow. Dude, that was a bunch of fun.
Yeah, and remember when we went out in that session together and I took off and then we caught Nate, I thought it was you still behind me, and then no, it's the CEO, and I'm like, oh geez.
Yeah, so Jason, you tell us the real story. Did he legit buzz the CEO of BMW?
Maybe.
He's not a rat. He's not a rat. You gotta respect the dude that's not a rat.
It was a bunch of fun, man. It was cool having him around. I mean, we had this little like train going on, and it was the CEO and marketing director and one other dude. They were all big ups in BMW, and we're all ripping. It was a bunch of fun.
Yeah. So you happened to catch some races this past weekend?
I did. It was Yeah, exactly. It was pretty busy both on and off the track with World Superbike, GP, and obviously what we were doing down in Chuckwalla. But yeah, I was able to catch up on some stuff. It was crazy, like everything with watching Toprak win and then watching the crash between Vinales and Bezzecchi and everything. It was gnarly.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I said it was like a cut to commercial, like Talladega Nights style crash, right? Like, holy shit, it was so
Yeah,
gnarly, right? Like
it
it's
was
like they
crazy.
kept crashing forever.
Yeah. Now it made
So
me
gnarly.
nervous when I saw all like the rolling from Bezzecchi and how he just kept
Mhm.
going and kept going and kept going. That's when I was like, that's gonna hurt.
I watched him. He grabbed his shoulders and just got in the tuck, and then and I just watched his legs flail everywhere in the sand. I'm like, oh! And then Vinales was just like, yeah,
no, dude, he was like, he was flipping the bird, dude.
Oh,
like,
I know,
super classy. Yeah. Captain Qualifier flipping you the bird. I mean, what do you think of that? Like, I mean, it's a racing incident, right?
I would say so, yeah. I mean, between the slipstream, just having a bunch of extra speed that he wasn't accounting for, and I'm sure.
Right.
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of variables, but I imagine Vignales probably checked up a little early to make sure he kind of covered his own bases. And
Right.
It was just, I think there's probably like 4 different things that happened that was just bad timing, and then it just.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it looked like, I mean, at first I was like, did Vinales like try to tip in early and cock block the inside, but Bezzecchi had already decided to go there, or did Bezzecchi get sucked into the draft at the end there? Like,
I would say a little bit of both. Because if that was me, so if I was trying to overtake someone, I would try maybe not check up at that high of a speed because you're doing like 200 miles an hour at that straightaway, but I would get on the brakes a little earlier to push someone out wide, so it was harder for them to get around. So it's I can kind of see both sides of it, but
yeah,
it
looked
was
like
it was a bummer deal at the end.
Yeah, either way,
I don't
both
think it was
anyone's
anyone's.
out in the they're out in the dirt, DNF.
Yeah.
So
Simon Crafar made
dirt, right?
Yeah. Crafar made a good point where as soon as Bezzecchi came in right on him, when Maverick came right up on him, and he took away the air for the downforce of the front end, which when he hit the brakes, it just dove the front end and locked up. So that was very interesting because the wings load the front wheel, so it allows everything to kind of plow through the front.
Yeah.
And when you brake, and then it just locked him up because you see him just do a nose wheelie. You're like, holy crap! And then it was wild.
And like, what happened with Pecco? Because like, holy shit, dude! Like the guy was not there. Like he was not finding happiness at Phillip Island.
Yeah, I don't know how much of that is risk conservation, risk management, so to say. If I was in his shoes, he doesn't have a lot of room to be in that kind of situation, like being that close in the championship and having someone as fast as Jorge right there. You have to be always going. Like it's basically whoever wins these races is going to end up winning the championship, unless they keep making mistakes. So you gotta,
which they've been making,
go for it,
right?
Yeah, exactly. A lot of mistakes, a lot more than I thought. But at the end of the day, I mean, it just kind of shows how hard they're pushing each other, and here we are.
Yeah.
Is that how you felt coming close to the end of the season, Stock 1000, when you were getting super close to Hayden?
Yeah, I would say the last 2 rounds between Laguna Seca and Jersey, I was much more in a risk management kind of mindset, as far as I knew that if I could just keep finishing races, if I could keep clicking off on these podiums and just be able to be there all the time, that I should be at least close enough to be within striking distance. And then leaving Laguna, I feel, was a little bit of a missed opportunity. I probably, in hindsight, should have been more aggressive. If I was able to win those races, it would have put me in a much better spot for Jersey. But at the end of the day, I mean, I talked to my team about this a lot as well at Jersey. Is we all came together and we made these decisions to, hey, if we don't finish races, we don't have a shot. It doesn't matter. If we're on the ground, we're out. So our biggest priority was finish, be there, and then if something happens, great. If it doesn't, we'll try again.
Yeah.
Well, like we talked about this on this show after the Jersey round, and we're like, dude, we hope the dude still has a ride next year, because like you laid it all out on the table. You did everything you were supposed to do. You got a good drive out of 10. You led the thing through the S's. who the fuck would expect that move right there? Like,
yeah. Now I give him serious props because that was something that
this move.
I
This
was
is your
not
move,
willing to
right?
do. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was the
Woo!
first thing that could come to mind was I can't believe he even tried that because there was a wet line. I mean, because it had been just super crazy weather. It's always crazy weather at New Jersey.
Yeah.
And yeah, underneath that bridge before the last corner, it just stayed wet. The rest of the track was almost dry, but that stayed wet. So every lap you tip in, you just get your knee on the ground and the bike would and step out, and then you just kind of slowly bring it back. And yeah, I heard him come by on the inside. I saw him tip in, and I heard both front and wheel and rear like screech as they slid in front of me. And everything in my mind was like, dude, there's no way. There's no way he even tried that. And I was hoping that it would have messed up his drive so I could get underneath him, but I just didn't. I ran out of time basically. I think if it was a straightaway like Miller, like UMC, different story. But now he took a risk, he gambled, and it worked out. So fair play.
Wow, man, that was so gnarly, and I was so stoked that you got to battle with that dude like that. You know, it wasn't you made it so he had to legit earn it. You know,
I tried my best. Yeah, I think race 1 at Jersey, I'm proud of. Coming from 8th on the grid and being able to close that gap down and actually make a pass was something I'm super happy about, and it just shows the work that the Orange Cat crew and BMW and Alpha Racing, everybody put towards that package to make it as good as it was. Because we started off the year at Barber, and I just couldn't find that feeling. I didn't really feel comfortable. I just needed time. And we did testing and just more experience working on the motorcycle, getting to know it more, and it worked out because we were able to put down some pretty fast lap times, and it was a bunch of fun.
Yeah. So if you come back next season on that same bike, you're basically just going to ruin everybody, right?
That's the plan. That's the goal. My biggest thing right now is making sure I'm healthy and fit, and I can be there when I need to be.
Yeah.
I guess it helps when you race like every weekend.
It does.
You're like Rocco Landers when he was like 14, right? Like
yeah, I've been really lucky. The last month, basically month and a half, I've been on a bike every week/weekend. So it's been a bunch of fun. I'm really lucky.
Wow, man. That's insane. So back to GP. The Martinator. Sprint race. Nobody had anything, right?
Nothing.
No. Like that dude it seems like this is his year, man. Like he's so close.
Right? I agree. I think as soon as he got that extra fire from not getting that factory ride, I think everything from this point on is just like trying to do everything he can to disrupt Ducati.
Yeah.
He wants that #1 plate at Aprilia.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right. Yeah, I mean, look, you know, he basically owned the sprint race, but man, race 2, he owned almost all of it. But you could see Marquez was like back there and he was sitting up early, you know, like you could tell you could see he had extra pace, right? It looked like it anyway.
Yeah. It looked like the Mark of old.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he was waiting for a mistake. I think he was just kind of sitting there and seeing if his chance would arise, but obviously didn't.
Yeah. Well, I think during the race, Martin did make some mistakes because like those guys came back to him a couple of times, and it's like, whoa, dude, he has like a second and a half. All of a sudden, it's like 0.3.
Yeah, he blew that turn 1, and then close to the end, and then that's what brought everybody in, and then Mark was just like, "Oop, here it is. There's my opportunity. I don't have to bridge a 1 second gap anymore."
Right. Yeah. And Pecco, you know, coming in with 2 rounds to go, right? It's 20 points. I mean, dude, he's like Pecco has to win 100% now. Yeah, he has to win to get it. And Jorge Martin doesn't necessarily have to win. He just has to be
Jorge has I think he has the outright pace. I think when it comes down to whether it's qualifying or race distance pace, I think he's got it. I think Pecco, I mean, obviously Pecco's proved me wrong a few times this year, but I think he has a little bit more of a level head. I would like to say he is a little bit more of a constant, but again, everything has happened so much this year. It's hard to really say who is a constant and who's not because everybody's crashing.
We got 3 more rounds to go.
Is it 3 more? Okay. Good.
Thailand, Malaysia, Valencia.
Still with 20 points, man. Like taking 4th ain't gonna get it done, dude. Like he's gonna have to, right? Pecco's gonna have to dig. And those guys are doing like crazy fast laps late in the race too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Mark was doing like 28 flats at the end of the race.
Yeah.
Like all the announcers were like, how is he doing that on that tire? That's insane.
Well, he got an extra coating of protection from that burnout at the pre-race burnout. I think they should make burnouts mandatory for everybody, right? Like you get a burnout box, you get a burnout done, and then you grid up. No,
well, it was the plastic that came off the tear off that coated the tire.
Yeah.
Especially
they sprayed it with Rain-X first, and then right. I mean, it was pretty impressive. Like that dude always finds something extra, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like chasing your Uribe at club races. Right?
Something like
dude,
that.
You're fast on everything, dude. How the fuck do you do that? How do you go from bikes, like you go from the BMW to some like electric thing to the Yamaha, like
I think a big step for me. So when I went to World Superbike in 2021 and I hopped on the Kawasaki, I hadn't really spent much time on it. And the race team I was with was like, this is how you ride this bike. You have to stay within this little box. And if you go outside that box, it's done. Like it's not going to work. And I started focusing so much on that. And then I sucked. Honestly, I was like dead last all weekend and then had one more opportunity to do another wild card. And I kind of came into that with the mindset of, I'm just going to ride. Like, even though if they tell me this is how you have to do it, I'm just going to ride how I know how to ride and start going from there. And that was way better of a weekend. Like, we beat my teammate. We weren't dead last, all this other stuff. And ever since that event, I've kind of come into that mindset of, okay, yeah, I mean, there might be XYZ that you should be doing, that this is in general how the bike likes to act, whether it's the BMW, the Light Fighter, or the Yamaha. But at the end of the day, if I can't go fast on it in the way that I've been taught, the way that I've learned, it's just not going to work out. So trying to rely more on the skills that I've learned and I've been taught versus the blueprint of how to ride this motorcycle correctly kind of is what usually points me in the right direction. And if it doesn't, then I just need more training. So I try and rely on that. And that's usually what gets me by.
I totally forgot you rode that Cowie. It was the Petruccini bike, or
it was the TPR bike. So yes, it was the Petruccini bike.
Yeah, that was the Elf bike that Toprak was riding in like 2019 or 2020, right? It was black with the Elf logo on the side of it.
Yeah, it was the oldest bike on the grid. But it was still on the grid, and that's all I cared about, man. When that opportunity came up, I did not care. I just thought it was going to be so cool to go. And it was an awesome experience.
The world superbike equivalent of the Scheibe bike?
Yeah.
No?
But wait a second. Everybody who rode that bike won a championship.
Yeah.
Jake, Josh, and Ashton was the last one to ride it.
Slick didn't win a Superbike championship, did he?
Well, no, because he never got on a Superbike after that.
Okay. So not everybody.
Well, yeah, but everybody jumped. Okay, so let me qualify that. Everybody jumped on a Superbike team.
A bunch of people rode on that thing and went fast. And
well, two guys that rode it that got Superbike rides ended up winning the championship. So
right.
Got to get a Superbike ride after riding it.
Right.
Exactly.
So the other GP stuff, I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't catch Moto2, but I guess Joe Roberts got injured and he's out.
Yeah, I didn't actually see the crash, but I do feel bad for him. I think he's a pretty good friend of mine. I've known Joe for a long time, and I think the amount of natural talent that he has is next level. Like there's there's really not, outside of him and Sean Dillon Kelly, I don't know anybody that has more natural talent. So, yeah, I feel bad. I think he's going to come back strong next year, and I think he has a really good shot.
All right.
I didn't watch it either because when I saw Joe got hurt, I really just didn't care after that.
That was me. That was exactly me. I was like, Joe Roberts not in it? Never mind.
Yeah, I don't even care about
it. Euro trash. But yeah, that's where I was at with it. I was like, not. And you know what? I don't watch Moto3. It's like, who cares?
That kid already won the championship, David Alonso.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's all
good. Shifting gears to Superbike. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So has Bulaga found something for Toprak for next season?
I would like to say yes. I think the confidence that he's carrying on right now from obviously maybe not dominating the whole weekend, but doing very, very well in Jerez and then doing really well at the test today. I think if he continues that track, he's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah. Yeah, Toprak didn't look the normal untouchable self that he's had, But he did have that one big crash, so
yeah, it happens sometimes. I mean, I think BMW, well, the new BMW that will be coming out soon is going to have a lot of things that are tailored towards Toprak style. So I think once he's able to get his hands, maybe he already does, I don't know. But once he's really able to start playing with some of the new pieces coming out, we'll see. We'll see if anything changes. But I still think that he might not necessarily be a runaway, but I think he'll be there.
Right. I mean, I think whatever Toprak has been, obviously, he's like the most talented dude in that Superbike class, number one. Number two, first BMW Superbike championship, right?
First in quite a while.
They spent the right. I don't know, dude. I don't know if BMW's ever won a World Superbike title. Have they?
Did Troy Corsair win it on the BMW?
No.
They never won
it.
I think that was the first one, dude. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So, like, that bike's, variations of that bike's been around since what, 13? So,
no, 11.
11?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Corsair, Melandri.
Yeah. So it's been a minute, dude. And that guy gets on a thing and wins right straight away. Yep. So,
I think it suits his style. I mean, especially after riding one all year, it's an animal on the front end. Like, you can bury that front tire into a corner, which obviously he does really well. I think where some of the other bikes might have the slight advantage is that initial edge grip, but depending on what he's worked on with his team and the swing arms and all that stuff, might be a different story. But that was a big thing that I struggled with this year, was just that initial 10% roll on edge grip. So I don't know. I think his style really suits that bike because he can just freaking throw the thing into there.
Yeah,
he looks like he rotates the bike really well. Like, he just comes into the corner, buries the front end, and then you just see him pop it up and rotate the bike out, and you're just like, whoa.
Yeah. He's also got this thing where he can. It's like he has this magic ability to adjust his quarter entry on the way in using the rear tire. He'll change his line mid corner. Dude, the guy is. It's like he can put the bike anywhere, anytime, any place, like whenever he wants.
Yeah, exactly.
Super motard.
Yeah. It's like, he's like that. He's like, was it Safonglu? That
Keenan
one. Yeah, the younger one on the 400 on go-kart tracks.
Oh yeah,
dude, he looks like that.
Well, that's all they do. That's all they live at that go-kart track.
Elbow down, backing it in everywhere, stoppies everywhere. Like,
that's all they do there.
Man, shit.
They do nothing but hang out at Keenan's go-kart track and just ride. So
must be nice.
I know, right?
That's the guy who races every weekend.
Yeah.
They still have a day job
on different shit. Yeah. So does anybody have a better world championship celebration than Toprak?
That was epic, man.
I mean, I was like, okay, there's a spaceship. Okay, he's getting into the spaceship. What?
Yeah, and then the alien mask,
the gold suit, and the alien mask. Yeah, dude, that was awesome.
Yeah,
that
I love
was
it.
awesome.
The burnouts. I mean,
dude, there's no way Motor America would let anybody do that, right? Like, there's just no way. Like,
well, there was one celebration I was a part of, though. We could talk about later, but
oh yeah,
yeah, it was a Road Atlanta celebration with my boy Jeff May back in 2020. So.
Yeah, I mean, I remember back in the day, like, Uribe, do you remember Corey Soros?
Yeah.
Yeah. So back in the day, he was doing the national circuit, and he had this whole thing set up where he was going to have like oil wrestling or something in his pit.
Oh God.
Yeah. So like that was certainly frowned upon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Highly frowned upon.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. Like, there's just I just don't see something like a spaceship getting set up outside the track on the cool down lap of a race for anybody happening, because that took a lot of time, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was. I loved how everybody on track came up to say congratulate him. That was so rad. Like, it was really cool. They were all there, and it was nice. And then, Mikey got that podium in race 2, which was huge. That was a big deal for the team. Like, to end it on that was
because he's been nowhere. I mean, all those BMW guys have been nowhere over there for the most part.
Gerloff's been doing a lot better.
He was getting close.
Yeah.
And Jason, you said something about him ripping in the test, right?
Oh yeah, I think I was very surprised with Gerloff today, adapting to the Kawasaki as fast as he did and being able to be P3 was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I was looking. He was in the 39s with everybody else. So it was Bulaga, Bautista, Gerloff. But they didn't mention where the Bimotas were. I know, who is it? Short Guy Moto was talking about the Bimota, which I thought was a really interesting bike. The frame looks super trick. But I was just curious about the homologation rules and all that.
How does that work? Yeah.
That bike's not being sold. So
is it gonna be sold though?
No, they gotta be sold before. Remember the EBR deal?
I'm sure there's some special horseshit rule that allows it.
EBR
they probably signed a promise.
They had to sell, I think it was 500 of the EBR 1190 RXs before they could even be allowed in.
Dude, Chris McGuire is saying something about Corey Soros in the chat. He says that he had a strip club set up once at an AFM race at Sonoma.
What a legend.
I mean, Corey Soros, that guy was so funny. Dude, my tire machine was up at Curtis's getting set up with the wheels and the handlebars and stuff before we took it out. And Corey ended up over there and he signed it. And I left it. It still says Corey Soros was here or something like on the tire machine. I'm like, okay, bro. Oh, thanks. Nice. Hilarious. So, so the Bimota definitely looks legit. Like, it looks like a GP bike compared to the other super bikes, right? Like,
I agree. Yeah, I think the cool thing about it is that they have the chance to build
BMW. Actually,
I mean, they kind of had the chance to build from everything that they wanted. They didn't really have to stick to restrictions of, we have to fit XYZ just because this is what the OEM wants. You know what I'm saying?
Euro whatever relation. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They could kind of come at it with a fresh mindset of, okay, well, we know what power plant we're going to use. We know we're using a Kawasaki engine, and you can kind of start literally from the frame up of whatever you want the bike to be like, how you want it to handle, and just see how it works, which I'm a huge fan of. I think it's super cool.
Right on.
John Righty mentioned the Petronas bike. Foggy's, what was that, the 1000 triple or whatever?
He won.
Yeah, and they had, there was like a garage full of those things out in Malaysia.
Yeah. Yeah, Summers says something about the Attack GP bike. I was just there yesterday checking. I did a little video of sitting in front of that, and I texted my buddy. I was like, yeah, I'm just sitting here chilling, making a stupid TikTok video, sitting in front of Attack's GP bike. And what you said about that bike, I mean, it's like exactly what Richard was saying when he was building the CRT bike back then. He's like, okay, well, I guess we're going to use a World Superbike Cowie engine. Now we just build everything around that. And that was the CRT bike. So basically, what you're saying is the Bimota is like a CRT MotoGP bike racing in World Superbike.
That's what it looks like.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Except they didn't do. Didn't Richard do? He did a different firing order to make it sound different.
Yeah, but I think Harry blew up that engine and.
No, back. Because he was trying to do like an R1 firing order or something. I remember him.
Oh, he did. He did.
That's pretty trick.
So it's a good time, man. It's I don't know. I think World Superbike. I mean, it's obviously the Bulaga and Toprak show right now. Bautista is there any given weekend, but man, that dude spent a lot of time on the ground this year.
Yeah,
he's like going back to his old ways,
dude.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know. I mean, I like Bautista. I used to ride with him a lot when I was living over in Spain. He's a super cool guy. He does have a little bit of a hot head sometimes, but he's a racer, so I don't really know what to expect.
What is going on here?
Oh,
we just got bombed by another guy.
How's it going?
Special episode.
Weird... Yeah, Tom Sykes Jr.
Tom Sykes Jr.
No? Hey, turn your phone sideways.
Okay, got you.
Now he gets it.
There we go.
Yeah, look at that.
Yo.
Yeah, so did you watch the races at all, BK?
I just watched GP. That's it.
Okay. Oh, that's right. You know, unlike Mr. Firefighter over here, you just focus on your own racing, right? Like, and were you still like celebrating your lap record stuff at Chuck Walla this past weekend, bro?
Oh yeah, it feels good.
Yeah, nice work. What was your lap record, man? Whose lap record did you steal?
I think Rocco's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you send him a text and say, "Hey, it's mine now, bitch"?
Not yet, but I'm going to for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
What tires?
I'll let him know.
What tires was Rocco on?
Probably Dunlops.
And what kind of tires are you on?
The good stuff.
You mean like the good stuff? Oh, look, he's got it too.
Yeah.
Ricky Bobby's got some somewhere.
I got a bunch in the back.
This is Team Pirelli here.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I had a stack of Ben Smith's Dunlops for the off season. I had to throw them outside in the back garage. They weren't good enough to stay in my front.
Those things. Yeah, I think Buttonwillow charges me like $4 per tire or something to recycle those, or I don't know.
Oh geez.
Something like that. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So you guys took all the Chuck Walla money this last weekend, I hear?
Yep.
That's our job. That's what we're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, the reality is BK really, really needs it because we know his dad don't have any room left on the credit card.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
We're basically sharing what we buy.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you got a job now, right?
I did just quit, but I did have one for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
These young kids.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I guess
I respect it.
Right on. All right. So we were talking about World Superbike stuff. What do you think about the rest of the guys, man? Like, Locatelli looks like he's kind of getting closer and closer. And it looks like Yamaha found a little bit of speed. I don't know if it's the wings.
It didn't transfer over to Johnny Ray, though.
Yeah, Johnny Ray, dude. Like, what is going on there, man?
Decline.
I don't know, man. I mean, after spending some time on the R1, granted, there's a big difference between being a World Superbike and working with like Moto America Stock 1000 bike. That's kind of hard to compare everything. However, the R1 loves to be smooth. Like everything about it is butter. It's a lot of fun to ride, and it's physically easy to ride. So it's a little hard for me to understand why Johnny Ray, who is someone that is buttery smooth. Like we always use Johnny Ray as an example at American Super Camp of this is one of the best ways to ride in our opinion. So I don't know. It's a little perplexing to me as to why he's having such a hard time.
Like, I mean, do you think he's like hiding an injury that nobody's talking about because he doesn't complain, or is he just not like he's just set in his ways, like he hasn't figured out how to ride the different bike yet? But that didn't really transfer when he was a Honda guy to a Cowie guy, right? So
yeah, I don't know. I mean, you at least come in, and again in World Superbike, it seems like the R1s are just a little bit down on power compared to like the Ducati or the BMW. So I think you just have to get 105% out of what the package has.
yeah.
And sometimes you can, sometimes you can't.
Well, Locatelli, Johnny Ray seems to get it out of the tracks that he likes, like the
Estoril. Estoril, he was ripping at Estoril, throwing it in on everybody, man.
Yeah.
There was no quarter between anybody on that track with Johnny Ray. He was just dive bombing.
Hey, did we have a moment of silence for the dead bird?
Another one?
Yeah, Jack Miller.
Part two.
Didn't Jack Miller kill a bird?
Yeah.
And
he needs to come out with a helmet too. Although Iannone got hit in the head with the helmet, so I don't know if they got to put it on the bike.
Right. Yeah.
That'd be good.
Well, they were talking about it. Like, I guess he had the worst. Jack Miller has had the worst luck all year, basically. Yeah. But I guess that particular weekend, somehow he was involved, and he somehow killed a rabbit too. Like a rabbit ran on his back. Like the dude is like a wildlife preserve. Like, what's going on?
Dude, the deer and all kinds of crazy stuff out there, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
They need to let the rednecks loose and take care of that problem.
Yeah.
Be cooking up dinner in the paddock.
Oh, man. I mean, it is Phillip Island. I mean, I guess,
no, the environmental people would have a heart attack if they did that.
Probably.
So for next season of World Superbike, what's
your pick?
What's a top 5?
Top 5. Let's go top 3, dude.
Top 3?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to put. There's 5 dudes.
5 is so much. Okay, top 5.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking. I'm gonna say Bulaga. Top
as number 1.
Yeah, Bulaga 1. Top.
He's picking
2.
Bulaga to win. Okay.
Yeah.
We're writing this
down.
To
see. Yeah, I'd really like to see a Bimoto up there. I don't know which one yet, but at least one of them. I'd like to see Gerloff in the top 5 as well. Probably, I'm going to say just there. And as far as 5th, I'm going to throw in freaking a Honda, whether it's Chavi or Eker. I was very surprised with how Eker was able to come on at the end of the year.
Yeah, he was ripping at the end of the year. He got that podium and Estoril.
So no Locatelli in the top 5?
I like Locatelli. Like, he's a friend of mine. I just haven't really seen
in the top 5.
If he can stay on a bike.
Oh.
Yeah, you can't be in the top 5 if you're on your back, right? In the weeds. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. How about you, BK?
Shit. I don't know. The Ducatis looked really good on the the MotoGP guys riding the Ducatis. They looked really fast. It's got to be one of those. Abu's small. I'd like to see how he does on the new with the new Abu Bautista.
Okay.
Yeah. And then like a Bimoto, those look sweet. I feel like they'd probably do pretty good.
A Bimoto in the top 5. Which rider?
I'm throwing it out there.
You don't care which one, just know one of them.
Probably Lowe's. He was doing pretty good on the Cowie at the end of the season.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't really watch too much, so
he's got the better crew chief.
Where do you put Toprak in the top 5?
Like 2 or 3.
2 or 3. Wow,
yeah.
Bold statement from the kid. Well, this is what happens with public education, people. Right here.
Yeah, I don't really watch that too much. So.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on. Okay. And what's your plan for next year, BK?
It's out in the air right now. I've got a couple things maybe in the air. I don't know yet, but if nothing happens, probably AFM again or something else. Maybe
And
go to Utah.
how do you feel about winning the AFM #1 plate? Because that club's pretty competitive. I think Uribe's got one of those somewhere too, right?
Yeah,
Like
I've joined the
AFM 1
club.
plate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels
So,
nice.
some say that's one of the most competitive clubs in this country. Yes.
Some
I
would
wouldn't
say.
say this year.
Some say.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know what the
Chuckwalla.
I don't know what the CVMA guys would have to say about that these days. Truthfully, I don't know how the CMRA guys would say about that either. But
it's the
off-season
heavy hitters, man. Off-season heavy hitters for CVMA or
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. CVMA,
There's a lot of Moto America guys there. A lot.
It looks like a national, right?
Yeah,
by the way,
basically.
national guy, Mr. Uribe here, slapped around some national guys. Right?
Good.
I mean, you call it whatever you want to call it.
It was a good time.
Yeah, it looked like fun. The pictures look cool.
Yeah, it was fun, man. I don't know if it was me being a weenie or if it was just the track just didn't have the grip that I was looking for, but man, it felt like I was sliding all over the place. And I mean, I'll give it to the CW Moto guys, the whole crew, Chris and Sarah and everybody really put together a solid package for me to actually race down there. And it started off and I was a little bit worried, not for the bike, but more like, well, how am I going to be able to go fast if I'm just sliding all the time? And we did a lot of work trying to figure some of that stuff out later, like late at night, calling at 10 p.m. trying to figure out, oh, we had this idea of, I literally just woke up in my hotel room and I was like, dude, we're going to try this with a shock tomorrow and maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. And then, yeah, it ended up working out pretty good.
And then it worked.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy to me? That's the way you talk about club racing now. It's like, yep, this team, they put this great bike together, package. The language that you're using is very, pro racing, national level racing to go club racing. Like that's how serious Chuckwalla's series has gotten, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's the same with it really depends on where you go. I think whenever you're starting to really push for those top spots, top 3 of the fastest classes, whether it's on a 600, 1,000, 400, whatever, and you really start getting into those good riders, those good crews, to do it without support, you can't do it alone, is what I'm trying to say. You have to have help, whether it's with mechanics or crew chiefs or whatever. You don't need to have, a semi-trailer full of people for a club round, but having some kind of support network is very important to be able to be at the top of those races.
And I've been to the club weekends and I've seen your setup, man, and I've seen just you as a rider, the things, the mantra, I guess you could say, the things that you go through. I've seen you out in the morning. I was out on my bicycle and I caught you jogging one morning and I was like, hey, what's going on? Right. And BK, I've never seen him jogging or anything like that, but he's the kind of kid that goes to bed early. He doesn't go and hang out and party with people at night. He's super square, but like they show up with like a toy hauler or something, and a toolbox, and they've got a whole team of dudes over there. One of them's in the chat right now, John Righty. Actually, 2 of them if you count the Pirelli dude, Chris McGuire, right?
Yep, and my dad.
And your dad, and that other guy.
Leave Dean out.
What's that guy's name?
The
guy Derek. There you go. Yeah, that is Derek still doing your things? Like Derek Keys?
Yeah, he was there this weekend.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right. He's like, don't forget Dad.
Yeah.
I mentioned him earlier, like, and his empty credit card. Come on, man.
Yeah. Barbara GNF had a few Moto America guys too. Some guy with a 99 on the front of his bike was there.
My buddy.
Whoa.
Your buddy.
Oh, yeah. My buddy, friggin' Jeff, man. I do like Jeff. I don't have any issues with him. I just, every time I hear his name, I just remember it was Utah. It was Miller, UMC, 2017 or 2018. And him and I came together on the start. and like everything was fine, everything was good, and then we meet up after the race and had a not very nice discussion. So every time I hear that name, that's just like the first thing that comes to mind. Yeah, exactly. He's a super good dude. I don't have I have no problems with him. It's super cool guy. That's just like the first instinct that comes to mind.
So by the way,
on the Cali.
Derek Keys is in the chat now.
That's
crazy. Right on.
Yeah, they were running 25s, mid 25s at Barber on the Jeff was on the Honda, and then out of nowhere, Jason Waters found a 25.5 on his BMW. It's a stocker BMW. So
nice.
Yeah, that's
cool. So
right on.
He'll be moving his way up in stock 1000 next year for sure.
He was up there at Jersey.
Yeah, partial weather, I would think, played into that, because when you guys started the race, he started moving back pretty quick. Yeah. I know Ben was like, I felt really bad, but he had to go with you guys, and he had to stick Jason in turn, was it 3A? He had to just stick it in there to get with you guys, because he wasn't. He was like, I'm not staying back there. I got to go up with the front guys. So he barged his way through, but.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's definitely been some passes that I'm not very proud of, but at the time you don't really have much of a choice.
No, because if you're not with the front group, you're SOL, man, because everybody takes off super fast. You guys, once you get in that front group, gone. And then
so when's the next time? I mean, obviously Uribe races every weekend somewhere. Where you riding next, Jason?
I'm actually riding in Ohio this weekend, doing some secret testing, and then going
testing in Ohio.
Testing in Ohio. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. And then we'll have American Super Camp the next weekend, and the next weekend after that is my fiance's banquet. So I won't be on the bike, but I'll be attending her banquet.
A banquet for.
So she was featured in a movie.
Or something? Oh. Okay.
Yeah, she was in a documentary on Netflix, and she is getting an award for it.
Oh, nice. Badass, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I'm super excited for her. I'm excited to go there.
So that's your one non-motorbike weekend?
Yes, for right now, yeah.
Okay.
You got to get all dressed up too. You got a tux and all the.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You gonna rock the tux t-shirt?
Yeah, the crop top. Yeah, the whole nine.
And a mullet wig. You gotta do the mullet wig. No?
I'll let you borrow mine.
Oh yeah.
Oh dude. That's
no, dude, because it would be red, and it wouldn't match. It wouldn't match. No.
How about you, Brendan?
I don't know. I'll probably just go ride motocross or go Supermoto Monday at Sonoma. You know,
all right,
got nothing until the next CVMA round.
How much? How much do you train with Supermoto?
As much as I can. I wasn't really open that much when I was working, but now I'm very open, so I could go whenever I want.
Okay. So, I guess Papa Kettleson's, or no, your prize money is going to cover the fees, right?
Hopefully.
Some of them.
I might run out very soon, but you know.
Yeah. So, I mean, being a privateer guy that puts in a huge effort, like, give me an idea of what it would cost a guy to have like a competitive 600 to race in club racing to try to win.
For the whole year or like the round?
For the whole year.
He
doesn't want to talk about it. He doesn't want to show the receipt.
I don't want to.
Come on, bro, bust out the receipt.
Hear it, but
you don't want to hear it. It's a lot.
I could say, well, per round we probably spend like, I'd say easily 2,000.
Okay.
And AFM there was only 5 rounds, so it's not that much. But to have the bike to do it, that's another thing that's really expensive. Like we've built my bike over the years. We bought it for I think $9,000. We got a steal on it, but we've just been building it with Grace parts every year, and right now it's probably like a $40,000 bike.
$40,000 600 club race
Yeah.
bike.
Over
I hear
4
you, bro.
years, it's not horrible, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, the Beamer I rode this year is 53 grand MSRP.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you know what? Ricky Bobby mentioned this a little bit. And since you raced one of the things, I figured I'd throw it out at you. Apparently there's been some kind of chatter with regards to the legality of the M Alpha bike or whatever in stock 1000.
yeah, there were some pieces there. So there are some pieces on the bike that come on the stock M model of the M1000 that Moto America wouldn't allow us to use. Things like the M comes with brake cooling ducts that go on the front rim, or I guess on the bottom of the front forks. We weren't allowed to use those. Yeah, it has a custom rear set. I don't know why they wouldn't allow us to use those, but for some reason, Moto America didn't want to have the M-badged rear sets. We had to put different rear sets on there. And the stock triple clamp on the M is very specific. It's like some one-off trick CNC triple clamp. And we could use them, but we weren't allowed to use any of the adjustable offsets that it came with. So we basically, it comes with a standard 0% offset, and that's what we were stuck with.
Okay.
Ooh.
Wait, but that's the M production bike from BMW, not from Alpha.
Correct. That is from BMW off the showroom floor.
Okay.
But that's weird.
Yeah, well, I mean, you remember a
don't
few years
understand
ago,
why.
they did some weird stuff with PJ when he did
the duck.
He did the Ducati in stock 1000, and they're like, "Yeah, that's not going to work," you know. So,
but that bike, because he was doing 13s at Road America on that thing.
It's like a Superbike guy,
crushing souls,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just curious, get your thoughts on that. Like having no skin in the game for myself or anything. It's just kind of cool to get somebody who actually rides the thing's take on it. And you don't give a shit either.
Well,
honestly, you ride whatever team put us underneath you, right? Like,
as long as it's a well put together motorcycle, I'll ride whatever. And I've been really lucky, especially the last few years. I've worked with some good people, and the bikes I've ridden, I've always trusted. So I'm very thankful. But I mean, Talon, like what you were just saying about the Beamer and Moto America, I mean, at the last round, everybody in the top 3 of every championship gets torn down. I mean, basically, you roll the bike into tech, and you have a tech inspector dude or lady just watch everything, and we tore every single bolt off of that motorcycle. Like, for example, another person in a separate class but same championship tore the bike down to the top end, and they looked and saw the pistons, and they're like, "Nope, you're good." We literally, like, it was no longer even a rolling chassis. Forks out, shock out, swing arm apart, motor down to bolts, not cases, cases separated, the whole
no
nine.
shit, like
We
down
went
to the like you pull the crank out and like, oh, yep. Are they with a micrometer measuring every? Wow. Okay.
Yep. The bike left.
Well, that's one way to prevent cheating, man. You get caught cheating. It's not like it's not like the old Sean Summers days where dudes would just grid up with a 750 in the 600 class. I only said that because he's in the comments. Yeah, that happened at a national.
It happens now.
Does it?
And, I'm not gonna say who does it, but
he's not a rat, guys. He's not a rat.
I'm not a co-op.
Yeah. Right on. How about you, BK? What do you think about the super sport class, the next gen stuff, and how things like the 600, you're kind of riding the last one.
It's interesting, yeah. It was funny. 2020 when the ZX6 first started, or 2019, the Team Hammer was complaining about the 36 cc's. Now they have 750, but it's interesting. But you could kind of get it with the stuff with the
The allowances or whatever.
Yeah, like overseas, they're not allowed to have, or they're
Right.
supposed to go with certain emissions and stuff. But
Right.
I think next year World Super Sports can be the first year of the 636.
Oh, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that's interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah, so that's next gen Super Sport class. I mean, obviously, it's gonna, at least here in the States, I think they have a control ECU now, so everybody's gonna have to run that, with a Mectronic or whatever they call it.
Well, yeah, they've been running it for all the next gen bikes, but then all the bikes got to run
all
it now.
the bikes got to run that. So I mean, that means the Cowies are gonna have to go ride by wire, right? Because
there's a trick system. They're gonna run the 600. Not the harness, the airbox or something, and then they're gonna have fly-by-wire. It's interesting.
There's a whole attachment you can put on it.
Oh geez.
Yeah.
All I know is it's expensive. Yeah.
So there'll be that. There'll be the R9, the Ducati, and the 750.
Yeah.
And a Triumph.
Oh yeah, the Triumph.
MV.
Watch out for the Triumphs because they are allowed.
We're gonna go in a Triumph rant now. Just a heads up.
I'm just telling you. I talked to Slicks guys at TOBC, and they were telling me that they get a link and a top clamp or a triple T. So
I think everyone gets that.
Okay.
Wrong. I think so. I might have heard wrong, but
you said what now?
Everyone gets linkages in triple.
In Super Sport.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Paging Ricky Bobby. John Righty is paging Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, I saw it. He says until they approve the kit. Too. No, they've got a homologated kit that they've already got. Yeah.
Okay.
There was 2 kits, and then they were only getting one of the can't remember if it's UKRS or whatever. They had to get a homologated one. So.
Okay, and then Uribe, what do you think of the Super Sports stuff?
Oh man, I think it's
class sometimes.
Yeah, I understand where they're trying to go as far as, I mean, you look at the Gixxer 750, how they actually have to at least this year, they have to detune it to be able to be legal. And then you get something like the R6 where you can build it to the hilt. Like you can throw so much stuff at that bike to make it competitive. So I kind of understand the balancing side of it.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of 600s. I think that the next evolution, so to say, of the Super Sport class is probably going to end up taking over what some of the stock 1000 is going to end up being. That's just my gut feeling, and we'll see how that goes and kind of how that gets portrayed. But I think the amount of skill that you can get from riding a 600, riding a fast 600, and riding it well is really good, and can transition over to thousands and superbikes really easily, as long as you are, a good enough rider to be able to recognize the differences. But they're a bunch of fun. I love them, and it's cool to watch. Good racing.
Yeah, it's been some awesome racing for sure. I always raced 600s until like 10 years ago, basically, right? So I was a 600 guy for most of my riding, and I've been a 1000 guy since like 2015, I guess. But I mean, the 600 is it? You know what, man? I was like kind of over it because riding 1000, it has all this stuff on it, and it's it's fast. It does evil things.
I got spoiled as one of the only 2 600 guys in this chat. Riding that BMW definitely raised my eyebrows a lot. I was like, man, this is nice to ride.
Jay Tanner, the race director at Chuckwalla, he said this about me years ago, and I still use it. Basically, since I started riding the R1, I've become a needy bitch. And I want my nanny shit, dude. Like,
I had to have somebody set up. Go ahead,
dude. What the stock, the S1000RR and the Alpha bike are totally different animals. So if you liked the S, you would love an Alpha bike, dude.
Stop.
Really?
Nope. Don't let me.
More money. More money.
I got the guys, dude. I can hook you up with whatever you need.
Well, my buddy Daniel Goodnight's one of the importers for Alpha.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so he's got an Alpha bike up in Raleigh. So
wow,
he's like, yeah, you got to ride my bike, dude. I'm like,
wow.
Probably gonna love it.
Yeah.
So TrackDaz 729 says B did pretty good against an R1 on Sunday.
That's my dad.
No.
That's my dad.
You got your whole family in the chat, bro?
Probably.
I see how it works.
At least they're stalking.
I see how it works. They're just making sure you don't talk shit about them.
Yeah, probably.
Or forget to talk about him, how he supports you.
Oh, I'm sure he's got a sponsor list to thank on a sheet in front of him.
I don't got nothing.
No?
I got nothing.
Wow.
I got it on me right here.
Oh, okay.
Just look at my shirt.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, it's green.
I heard about that race, actually. I heard it was pretty gnarly.
Yeah. Who were you racing against?
Nick Sealing.
Oh.
On the wrench R1.
Oh shit, that's the bike that Longer was racing on.
Yeah, and he's the one that's a
Superbike.
Yeah, that's a proper Superbike, man.
He machines all the parts.
Dude, Nick Sillig is one of them smart guys, dude. He's been a smart guy for as long as I've known him.
Genius.
Oh yeah, super cool guy.
Yeah.
Super
smart kid, man. Dude, and they seem like they genuinely are into it, like into the sport overall, right? So yeah, good on them. I hope they stay with Aussie Dave. I don't know what Fonger's doing for next year. Or I don't know what Aussie Dave's doing next year either, but man, I'd sure be cool to see those guys back on the grid, doing the thing.
Yeah.
Well, Robbie Peterson was talking like they were disbanding.
Yeah, I've been hearing that.
Bobby will be on a good bike next year. I think Bobby will impress a lot of people next year.
Somebody knows something. Somebody's
laid some stuff down.
Did you change from RST leather or 4th Street leathers to Dionysi or something?
Yeah, that's what happened. Bobby hooked Jason up with Dionysi leather, so he's got to say good things. Right? No? All right. Okay. I get it.
He's not a rat. He's not a rat, folks.
He's not a rat, dude. He is not a rat. Apparently the stock bench slap shall live on. Is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So you know what? I mean, we're a little bit over an hour on this thing, and let's talk about, because we already got your predictions for top 5 and those other classes. Let's talk about Moto America, dude. Like we don't know who's going where. Silly season hasn't been announced, and it a lot of times isn't until like super late. So just based on what we know right now, Uribe, I'm gonna let you go first. What's your Superbike predictions? And you could say top 5, top 3, whatever.
So I would like to say there's going to be a big old 36 somewhere in the top 5 of that Superbike grid.
Oh shit!
Right now,
bold statement filed.
Yeah, it's not my decision to make. I am pending some confirmations on some big people. However, that is a possibility. I'd like to see Bobia getting up there again. I think if he can just stay fit, which it's not his fault that he's getting hurt, but if he can just stay on the motorcycle consistently, I think he's going to be. He's fast. He's always been fast, so he's going to be hard to beat. Heron is obviously up there. Obviously, he did really well this year. I don't know about his consistency throughout the year, but he's always been fast, and he's always had the outright pace. I don't know who's going to be on the second Ducati. I don't know if Loris is going to come back or not. I'm not sure. So that's what the first 4, if you include Loris. And then I would say Bobby.
Yeah, on something.
Bobby's on something. Bobby's going to be up there. He's going to be hard to beat.
What if we get a healthy Jake?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I totally forgot about the Yamaha
Just
guys.
throwing it out there. Yamaha
yeah,
guy.
100%. Jake is going to be both Jake and Cam both had really solid years. It was a bummer about Jake's prolonged injury, I guess is the best way to say it, like nagging injury.
I talked to his dad the other day.
Super fast.
I talked to Jake's dad the other day, and I was like, dude, you know, Jake's pretty tough guy, but man, like, I don't know what the hell happened there, but I guess he's got something where he like grows scar tissue abnormally or something. So,
gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. Like, I guess there's a test coming up December, I think. So
you would know.
Like I said, I think it's sometime in December.
Break out the old timer.
Yeah, timing smart guy. But yeah, so you know, Jake got done whatever he had to get done. So hopefully he'll be swinging. You know, I think a healthy Jake's going to be a threat.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with your top 5, man. Like it's a tough class, dude. Superbike stacked.
Yeah.
Right. You're a bunch of talented dudes in that class. I don't know what the musical chairs are going to end up looking like. You know, but who knows? I don't know who is riding the other Yamaha. Like I don't know the answer to that. I know that I think Jake's contracted, but I don't know about Cam. So
gotcha.
And Richard doesn't tell me that kind of stuff.
Probably a good reason.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah. How about you, DK? Super Sport. Go.
Oh, Super Sport. Oh, the Ray Hall Ducati is probably going to do really good. They got a year under their belt now.
Okay.
So I got to say, if PJ's still on it, I think he is.
All those guys
he'd
are
probably
on
be up. Yeah, PJ, Corey. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Corey definitely up there in top 5, I think. He was doing really good. And then I think Kayla's doing really good on it. She got to up her game up a little bit, but
figure it out, right?
Yeah, she's got 1 year and she's already up there. It's crazy,
right?
And then,
Do you know if Schulte's going to be back on that R6?
Yeah, I was about.
I don't know. Are they going to be on an R9? Is Schulte going to be back on it? I don't even know.
I don't know. Go on a.
I don't know.
Blake Davis.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Definitely.
Good call, dude. Good call.
Yeah.
On the R9,
maybe. I mean, everybody announced it. I don't know who's riding the R9, but you know,
I wouldn't doubt he would be on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then,
like, I mean, is Chuck Giacchetto gonna field an R9?
He would be the guy to do it.
He would, class. Yeah.
Right?
He's probably excited.
Again,
he probably already got one.
Track team has done a great job.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, those guys they came out swinging, and it was you know, it was epic.
And they get their motors from somebody we know.
Yes, they did. You gotta love Josef, man. That dude is super into it, man. Like Josef, like you go to the shop and Josef talks like 1,000 miles an hour, and he's like super into it. And so, you know, I don't know. I think Attack might be helping with some development on the R9, but I don't know anything specific with regards to like having one in the semi, because you know, I mean, the team's pretty tapped to run 2 Superbikes. So
yeah, it's a heavy
heavy
deposit.
Right. Oh yeah, that's a good question. Dean, I think it's Dean. He asks if Chiquetto fields an R9, will Dominic Doyle ride it?
I think Dom's going to be on the Hooligans bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's doing the
MT9,
MT9. Yeah, he's doing an MT09, and they're fielding a bike because I know he's helping Chuck's helping my buddy Matt with his, so they'll have that Hooligans bike. But I mean, isn't he gonna be on the R7 again for the Twin Cup?
No idea.
Yeah. What about Ty Scott?
Yeah, where's
DK?
Tyler Scott? That's a talented dude, man. Like, and he had probably the worst racer luck this year ever, right? Like,
Yeah.
that dude was on the ground a lot. I think that whole team, I think everybody on a Gixxer 750 had issues some way or another. So, if that guy's healthy and he stays off the ground and they figure out, I'm sure he'll be in the front somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I don't know. I feel like he's got really fast, like, one lap times. He could carry it out the whole race. I feel like he could definitely be up there.
Are you suggesting that Tyler Scott is a little bit of a Vinales character in Supersport?
I mean, couldn't tell
Not
yet.
to put you on the spot, kid.
Yeah.
You said it. No?
Nah, he's a fast rider.
John Righty says that Rocco's going to be on the Suzuki. Is that true?
That's interesting.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything.
So
he would tell me.
I've heard some stuff about what's going on in the Vance and Hines team. They're going to be, and this is just background information. I'm not 100% sure on this, but there's going to be quite a big transformation in that program between going away from a brand that is orange, black, gray, whatever you want to call it, and going towards a brand that's red.
So they're ditching Harley for Honda? Dude, you know what? I told Rocco that. I told Rocco that. I was like, dude, you got a scumbag Terry into going Superbike, bro. Like, how awesome would it be if Vance and Hines threw down a Superbike effort? I mean,
just like
those guys.
How many would they run? Because you got work boots too.
What? Yeah.
So, and again,
I mean,
I can't confirm
Rocco
any of that.
team up to Honda Superbike. You know what? I think we have Trevor. We have.
Yeah, where's High Rev Trevor on this?
Trevor.
Yeah,
Peter Pan Trevor.
He was in the chat.
Right on.
Where's he at? No, that'd be pretty sweet. Or maybe put Rocco on that HRC 600. That bike rips.
Is that going to come to the States? Is that?
Yeah.
There's one. He was racing in Daytona.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Okay.
I've heard those are fast.
Oh, Cody Krager points out that MV is also red.
Yeah, but not.
Yeah.
Melissa's the only one.
European.
Let's get real, dude. Like,
isn't Trevor watching Frozen?
Trev's totally watching Frozen right now, dude.
And that was last week. I think he's on Minions this weekend.
Oh, is that right? Okay. That makes sense. Well, you guys, it's been super fun having you guys on. Hope everybody likes having a little bit different kind of view this show. Nice surprise to have a couple of local boys, local club racer dudes who also do nationals. One is
local to you.
Well, okay. California guys. Dude, hey, we'll have your guys on. I mean, come on, dude. I
gotta get some peeps over here.
I truthfully tried to scumbag Chris McGuire to go on, but he's afraid to talk because he thinks he'll say something to get himself in trouble.
He probably would.
I was like, dude, I know. That's why I asked you, right?
Yeah.
He's
Rick
such a sweetheart, though.
Did Rick Jenkins wants to know, before we let it go, did anybody watch race 2 of the women's championship thing, R7 Cup thing? And
I saw the highlights.
Maria Herrera played games on track with her competition for the championship, Anna Carrasco. Yeah, Carrasco. She ended up on the ground from her own doing. Poor sportswomanship. Is that what happened? Did Maria throw it away?
I didn't watch it. From my perspective, it was a bit of a stupid crash where if she would have been a little bit more heads up, probably would have seen that there was a rear tire 2 inches away from her front wheel. And I've known both Maria and Anna for quite a while, and again, we used to all ride together. We had this little like posse of riders that we'd all go to kart tracks with, and it was those two, Bautista, Vinales, a couple like Pedro Costa was there when he was a friggin' child. Like
you believe this guy, dude?
Well, he spent quite a bit of time in CEV.
Yeah, so. Dude, he's just
yeah.
nonchalant talking about that.
Yeah, it was cool, but they're super smart, super talented riders. But I think sometimes you can almost get like too deep into mind games. You can get too deep into somebody else's head, and you start losing track of your own. So I think it was a good example of sometimes you just have to focus on your ride versus trying to mentally screw someone else up.
Oh wow. Words of wisdom from Uribe.
Yeah.
Is that Jellin? You're nodding in agreement, PK.
Got a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, dude. Dude, Jason's gonna open a school. Watch.
He could.
Yeah.
I would go.
Yeah.
No,
He's been teaching 2-up rides, all that, dude.
He's been teaching with Danny long enough.
Dude, well, Danny's taught me how to friggin' breathe. I've worked with him since I was 5 years old.
Yeah, did you work with Ken Hill at all?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I used to work with Ken all the time.
You're a Rick School guy, right? Or no?
Yeah, that's where I did this, man.
That's right. Yeah, we talked about it. It was back in the day,
Rick
right?
School. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wasn't it at Chuck?
Yeah, the best way. It was at Chuck Waller.
Yeah, when we were comparing. Hey, let's compare jacked up hands. You win, bro. Like my jacked up digits are still attached, so you win. Right on, man. Well, you know what? Final thoughts, Ricky Bobby?
Thanks, boys, for coming on. Appreciate it. Jason, we need to do that Nate Kern thing next year with that Coda.
Hell yeah, we'll be there.
That's gotta happen.
Yeah, I get an invite to that.
Yes,
let's go.
We'll tag you on.
He said no.
No, he said let's go.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah, he said no. I was like, what do you mean no?
Yeah, post show. And then we got 3 more rounds of MotoGP left, so that'll finish off the season. So we're done with World Superbike. Now we're just solely on MotoGP with the boys battle it down to the very end. So
and then we'll start doing weekend hangovers about Chuck Wallace's Winter Series.
Well, we have to. We got to put the movie episode together. So I know that
oh my god,
we lost our viewer count, but we're working on a movie episode for One Fast Move with the director, Mr. Kelly Blatt. So I'll be doing that one soon. So
yeah, okay. Sweet. Yeah, the quality level of entertainment on that one for sure.
Yep. Chat's going to be lively.
Yes, I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
Right on, guys. Well,
thank you.
Thank you guys all for putting up with us and all the people in the chat and everything for watching this thing. And, please like, subscribe, share, comment, all that. So,
yeah.
Or as Ryan from Horsepower Rodeo says, mash all the buttons. Okay? Yeah. And you know what? Good luck to both of you guys too. I hope everything works out. I hope you guys continue setting lap records and beating people up in the club races. And I guess we'll see you guys on the grid at some point.
Yeah. See you.
See you soon.
See you guys.